All right, 5 minutes after 10 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in. Matt Gibbs is in the studio from Sunrise Automotive and Crossroad Auto Sales, both companies which I have done business with, and knock on granite, not lately, because the new vehicle I got from Matt has been much better than the old vehicle I don't have anymore. So good morning, Matt. How are you?
I'm doing okay, Larry. How are you doing?
Good. There was one story, I don't know if you saw it or not.
I haven't seen it. I haven't seen any stories, Larry.
It was it was a story of a police officer pulling over one of those Google self-driving cars because it was going too slow.
Oh.
It was going too slow.
And that's worse than speeding, I think. So they just put the ticket under the windshield wiper? But does it even have a windshield wiper if there's nobody driving it? Why does it need a windshield wiper?
That's a good point. That's a
headlights? No headlights. We don't need headlights. No stinking headlights.
Well, you would need headlights for the people to see you.
Oh, yeah. We forgot about those other people. But if all the cars had no drivers,
you're doing stand-up comedy right now. You're doing a comedy routine. But the law says, I think it was in California, the law says you have to have a person in there ready to grab the wheel. So there was a guy in the car.
Oh.
Wasn't just driving around by itself.
So did he get the ticket?
Yeah. No, they didn't give a ticket.
Oh.
They ended up not giving, but he pulled him over, and I guess the police officer, in exchange for learning about the car, withheld the ticket. So.
Oh, okay. Now, does the car know that I need to pull over because there's someone trying to pull me
wonder.
over?
That's a good question.
You know, or did the guy? And you know.
All right, I've started to tell you.
Okay.
My dad one time told me, my dad was a policeman, and he told me one time that if there was a certain judge in New York, in traffic court,
okay,
that if he heard a story he had never heard before, even if he figured it was probably a lie, he would let him go.
Okay.
Because I never heard that one before, I'll let it go. Okay. So there was a story I read one time in a music magazine, songwriter magazine, I used to subscribe years ago. And this guy was pulled over for going too fast. And he went to court and he told the judge, there's no way I was going too fast. And the way I know my exact speed is because when I'm going 55 miles an hour, my engine hums a perfect pitch A, the note of A.
Okay.
So the judge says, okay, you're done. Get out of here. Now, whether the judge believed him or not, I don't know. But have you ever heard that an engine will run at a certain pitch?
Well, it has to.
But can you hear it? I mean, can you determine it?
I
can't.
No, I can't either. But it's making noise, right?
The dial tone is an A on a phone.
Most cars, their horns are D and Fs. You know, if a horn goes bad.
Is that right?
Yeah, there's two horns, and
right.
There's an A horn and an F horn. So you got to determine which horn is bad.
Too bad we can't play them selectively, right? I mean, wouldn't that work?
Yeah.
That's a major F and A. It's the first and the third in the scale of F, right?
Yeah.
Key of F. That's music talk. We're talking about cars here. I love my radio, by the way.
The radio in your car?
The radio in my car.
Okay, we can talk about that.
That radio that was in the other car that you told me. Which, by the way, I got a warranty extension offer for that Sebring. I got some kind of letter in the mail. Congratulations, you have a warranty extension offer. I figured it was somebody trying to sell me something.
Yeah, I'm sure that they are.
But that one had a modern radio, that Sebring.
Mm-hmm.
The car you sold me doesn't have a modern radio. It's kind of an old radio. I like that.
When you say kind of an old radio, it doesn't play cassette tapes, does it?
No, not that old. No, it's got a CD player.
Right. But it doesn't have the hookup for like auxiliary stuff.
The other one was like too fancy or something. The face came off of it. And
yeah. I put that one in there though.
Oh, you did?
It was an aftermarket radio.
Oh, I figured that. So you like it? Well, I guess I would have learned how to use it eventually.
Well, since I got all hooked up on Spotify,
yeah,
I like that, and I just play Spotify in my car.
You play Spotify in your car?
Yeah,
I love Spotify.
I love Spotify.
Well, how do you do that?
I have.
You have the internet in your car?
No, I have the internet on my phone.
Oh, okay.
And then with Spotify, you can download music, and so it's not on the internet. It's actually downloaded to your phone.
Oh, really?
Now, if I had a real nice system, I could take that information that I have downloaded on my phone and put it in the stereo. if you have the right stereo. A lot of the, here's an interesting thing. Here, I saw this on last week. I was watching the news show at 6:30, the nightly news with Lester Holt, and they had a Ford dealership on there. Okay, which I thought was just awesome what these guys were doing. And the Ford dealership, it has the sales force and everything. And if you come into their dealership and if you buy a new Ford car, they go to the local high school and they get all these kids. These kids are 13, 14, 15 years old, whatever they are. I know that one kid, he can even drive a car. But what they do is after you buy the car, you get this kid.
Right.
And the kid goes with you. And you go driving around all around town and stuff.
A kid?
A kid.
Okay.
A teenager.
I thought you were saying kid. Okay.
A kid.
A kid. A child.
A child.
A student. Okay.
Yeah, a student. High school student. And they train them how to teach the people that just bought the new car how to use all the electronics in the car.
Oh, I need that.
That is
not now.
But that's a brilliant idea. That's a brilliant idea. Because one of my customers bought a new Ford Fusion.
Yeah.
And it's got the InSync system, and it's got the, where you can you can transfer all your music from your phone or MP3 player or iPad,
Right.
Put it all on just download it right into your radio. So now you don't have to plug in your device. It's already.
I like that.
It's already in there.
That's good. Now, the owner's manual to my car says that it has my radio has the Sirius XM capability.
Right.
But I don't know how to do it. I can't find it on there. Is that the mesh of wire in the windshield? Is that the XM satellite antenna?
No, that should be just your regular antenna.
That's just a regular antenna?
Yeah.
So the XM, you have to get their special antenna.
Yeah, on your radio, you should have a band button on the stereo.
Right.
If it doesn't go AM, FM, auxiliary, satellite, or XM,
right,
then it does not have the XM.
Oh, and it does not do that because I did run through that. Okay. Well, and that's kind of what I thought. By the way, speaking of electronics, have you seen these two TVs behind you?
Yes, I have.
Were they here last week? I can't remember.
Yes, they were.
But now there's something new. See the sign on top of that one? If you like us on Facebook, you will be entered to win one of these.
Wow.
So there's more than one way to enter your name now. Dan has a new idea.
Well, I think that's a brilliant idea. But I can't do it, though.
No, neither can I.
So, Larry, there's just me and you in here.
Hey, we've had our share of people early in the morning when it's still dark out there looking in here with flashlights.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, I am not making it up. So, yeah.
But they don't understand. I watched Joe put an electric wire around the big window.
That's right. That's to keep them out. Just to keep everybody out. The phone number, if you have a question about your car, if it's making a popping noise that you don't know what it is, this is a good time to call. Matt's here to answer those kinds of questions. Forgive me for not having a car that's working. See, when my car was not working well, I had lots of questions for you. So the number is 622-9622 if you want to call Matt, and of course you can go visit Matt. And in addition to fixing cars, Matt sells cars. I'm so happy with the car I got from you, by the way.
Good. Well, last week we talked a lot about the little jump box things.
Right.
And I'm supposed to have 10 in today.
Oh, good.
Okay, they're supposed to be they were shipped out. But one of the listeners last week called my office, and we're going to go to commercial now.
We'll have to wait. And the phone is ringing too. So hang in there, everybody. Matt will continue the story on the other side, and we'll be right back. You're listening to The Source, WOCA Ocala. This show is called Auto Repair with Personal Care with Matt Gibbs.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. Intervals of clouds and sun today with a shower in spots along the coast, the high 81 to 85. And tonight will turn out mainly clear with lows ranging from the mid-60s inland to about 73 along the coast. Tomorrow, times of clouds and sun, just a chance of a shower along the coast, high 82 to 86. On Wednesday, times of clouds and sun with a shower or two around, high 84 to 88. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
Do you live in Leesburg, Ocala, or Claremont? Are you interested in teaching, nursing, or business? If so, the University of Central Florida offers you more than a dozen programs that fit your schedule and your budget. You can take classes online or in a classroom or both. You can get ahead in your career and you can do it right in your own neighborhood. UCF has 10 locations near you. Find out more at regionalcampuses.ucf.edu.
With a graduate degree in management and leadership from Webster University, there'll never be a better time for you to explore what's next in your career. Classes are scheduled so you can continue your normal workday routine, and the accelerated program means a new term starts about every 10 weeks. If you're looking to gain a broad general management and leadership perspective, then Webster University's Management and Leadership degree program is the right one for you. It's all a part of what's next at Webster University.
Go to webster.edu/manage, accredited by ACBSP.
The College of Central Florida is committed to being your first choice for quality higher education. CF has locations in Marion, Citrus, and Levy counties and offers more than 60 academic programs. Earn a certificate, associate, or bachelor's degree. With Florida's 2+2 program, a student can complete an associate in arts at CF and be guaranteed admission to a state of Florida university. CF is ranked number 13 in the U.S. for affordability, is military friendly, and offers a full student life experience. Make CF your first choice. Call 352-873-5800. Claim your future with a highly respected degree from St. Leo University. Ranked among the best colleges by U.S. News & World Report, St. Leo University is a proven leader in bachelor's and master's degrees designed for working adults. Classes are forming now at our convenient Ocala Education Center located at the College of Central Florida, and there is still time to enroll. For more information, contact an academic advisor today by calling 352-671-3391 or visit stleo.edu/Ocala. St. Leo University, what you need for where you're going.
Hey, Matt, I know Sunrise Automotive does auto stuff, but I need some tires for my truck. Can you recommend someone?
Yes, I can. We do that.
No, I mean I need them installed and balanced and all that.
Yep, we do that.
Well, my son needed his windows tinted.
Yep, we do that.
I need my seat replaced.
Yep, we do that too.
I need a new roof line, a new spoiler, and a new
Yep,
trunk.
we can even do that too.
Okay, I get it. I suppose you can also do a radio show too, huh?
Well, as a matter of fact, join me every Monday at 10 for auto repair with personal care here on The Source.
Of course you do.
18 minutes after 10 o'clock, Matt Gibbs is here. Part 2 to the story.
I forgot what part 1 was about. No, it was the jump box.
The jump box was right.
So one of the listeners called over to the shop and asked, hey, do you have a jump box? I told her that they were on order, and she didn't want to wait, and so I let her use mine. I said, well, come get it and try it out.
Okay.
Try it out before you spend money and buy it.
Right.
Well, she came back she picked it up, I think, on Thursday, and she brought it back Friday morning, and she said, I can't wait for my little box to come in. She said that thing worked perfect.
See, that's a good sales technique. That's how I ended up buying that car.
Yeah, I know.
You have a phone call. Good morning. You're on there with Matt.
Good morning, guys. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing great, thanks. I have an '05 Cadillac DeVille, and which I love. But every once in a while, when I'm driving along, but it happens more so at a traffic light or at a stop, all of a sudden the headlights will dim just for a split second. And, it doesn't seem to affect the radio or anything else. But and I've had, this is the 5th one that I've had, and I've had previous models that had a bad ground all the way to the point where the car would be dead as a doornail. And I was wondering if this might be something related, or...
Yeah, it could be. It's an 05 DeVille. All the lighting system goes through a module, some sort of module, and then after it goes through all these modules, it ends up at the BCM. So the first thing that I would do is I would actually run a diagnostics on it on an 05 Cadillac DeVille. I think there's 32 different operating systems in that car.
Wow,
32, yeah, 32 systems that are controlled by computers and modules. So the first thing that I would do is just to check to see if there's any kind of glitch or any kind of code or anything that has to do with pertaining to the headlight circuit. Because if there's something communication-wise, then we should be able to pick it up.
Okay. All right. So I'll have to bring it down Wednesdays.
Okay. That'd be awesome.
Thanks, Matt.
Thank you.
So you know what you are, Matt? You are a hybrid of the old mechanic and the new mechanic.
Yes.
I mean, you kind of understand old car workings and new car workings, and I'm wondering if that's going to go away with mechanics. Are you? Because I'm sure you represent a lot of mechanics who have skills, old school skills and new school skills. So when you analyze a car's operating system, you use a computer to do that. So that's new mechanic skills, right? That's the new mechanic. But I'm guessing at the same time you're listening and you're hearing a sound that doesn't show up necessarily on your computer screen, right?
Absolutely.
So do you think that is going to be a lost art in the future?
It already is becoming a lost art. It's I was very fortunate. Yeah, you could say it's fortunate, but when I started working on, when I got involved in the automotive industry, it was in the early 80s. And it was in 1981 and a half at that time I was working for General Motors at a local dealership here in town. That's when they made that transition to start using onboard computer systems in cars. So I was brand new, and I jumped right in it with both feet. And so right from the beginning of this whole era of computerizing this electronics in the car, I've been in it since day one.
Right.
And I've watched it progress to where we are today, which is huge. But we still had a whole bunch of cars that were coming in that were still mechanical. There wasn't a lot of electronics. So, I had to learn the new because I worked in a dealership with a bunch of old people. They didn't want to learn the new. I was fortunate enough to
so you
to
learn
really
from them
learn
and learn the new stuff too.
Exactly. I learned the basics and all the old stuff from them, and then I started teaching them the new stuff. Because I just picked it up and absorbed it so fast. But here's the deal: owning a garage, and here we are, 25 years later, 30 years later, I'm seeing the new generation. They come in and they don't. And I'll give you, for instance, a car comes in, the AC's not blowing cold. They don't know how to use a set of gauges and check the air conditioner. They have to put it on the machine. They don't understand how we did it.
Oh, really?
25 years ago.
Oh, wow.
What are those things? Well, these are AC gauges. What do you mean?
Well,
where's the AC machine? And so I see where they're missing out on a lot of stuff that we all just had to do. We used to, back in the day, we rebuilt carburetors. Today, you don't rebuild a carburetor, you replace a carburetor. If you even have to deal with a carburetor, you put a new one on. And so things that we used to repair, starters, alternators, we used to take them apart, test them out, rebuild them, and put them back on the car.
No more, huh?
There's no more of that.
Does anybody do that anymore?
There's a few places in town they specialize in alternators and starters and stuff like that. But that was going on in every shop in America.
Yes,
we all rebuilt our stuff.
Yeah.
Brake boosters, master cylinders, wheel cylinders. We used to rebuild all that stuff, and we don't do that. You don't do that anymore.
And something I guess we all sort of knew, but because we're in this time right now, we're fortunate to have guys like you who know both ends of it. There's a gentleman out there. He wrote this book, and if I could just squeeze in this real quickly, he tells a story in this book about, I guess there was a guy trying to come out to help them rustle cattle, and he drives his Model Ford T into the canal, and and you have to pull it and pull it and pull it and pull it and pull it to get it started again. So they were just pulling it to get. Can you imagine? It's flooded. I mean, literally flooded with water, and to get it started. I'll try to find this so I can read it exactly. But let me go to the phone. Good morning. You're on the air with Matt.
Yeah. Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Speaking about things that they don't do anymore and all that is, back in the old days, going way back, you went in for an oil change, you got a grease job to grease, I guess, the fittings and all that stuff. You don't hear that anymore. Do you ever have any problems with cars that have whether these self-contained grease units or whatever they are breaking down?
Oh, all the time. When I started working in this industry, man, we never did front end work. We never replaced ball joints and idle arms and pitman. They never wore out. People would get them greased and they would last forever. But probably in the late 80s, early 90s, the manufacturers stopped putting in grease fittings in a lot of the cars. Not all the cars, but a lot of the cars. And so therefore, we replace all kinds of front end stuff now just simply because you can't grease them. And a lot of the aftermarket front end components, they do come with grease fittings, so now you can grease them and they'll last probably forever if you keep them greased.
In other words, what you're saying is when you replace a unit, you replace it with the fittings, right? So you can maintain them, right?
Exactly. Like ball joints, they were a sealed unit from the factory. Then when we replace them, they come with a zert fitting. So now we can go ahead and grease them. Same thing with U-joints. U-joints never come with grease fittings. We replace them. Now they come with grease fittings. So they'll basically last forever if you can keep them greased.
Yeah, remembering back, am I correct when I'm thinking that Ford was the first one that came out with the sealed units?
I don't know if to be honest with you, I don't really know if they were the first ones. I think they may have been. I know GM kept a lot of grease fittings on cars when the Fords and the Chryslers and stuff started coming in, and they did not have grease fittings. So I would venture to say, probably Ford or Chrysler and a lot of the Japanese cars, they all just stopped doing it. And I understand why. The reason that a lot of the manufacturers stopped doing it is because their responsibility is for the time of the warranty. After the time of the warranty's up, then they don't feel like this car needs to obtain its warranty life, and that's basically the way that they started looking at things.
Yeah, if you buy a new car and it has the sealed units, and you feel you're going to keep that car for many years, would it be? Is that a big deal to have the fittings put on?
Well, there's where are you going to put them? There's nowhere to put the fittings, to drill them and tap them and do all that stuff. A lot of times you can't get to where you need to get, so you just drive the car. When that ball joint wears out, replace the ball joints. When the tie rods wear out, replace the tie rods.
Yeah. Basically, they're probably good to at least 100,000, huh?
Yes. And driving conditions have a lot to do with it too. If you live down a dirt, bumpy road, you're going to wear stuff out faster than if you live on a hard road. So, driving conditions do have a lot to do with it.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning. You're on there with Matt.
Good morning, Matt. It's Sonny calling.
Hey, Sonny.
Anyway, I'm going to tell you that I still have my Dwell TAC vacuum gauge, Xeon lighting, timing light, and all that other good stuff. Who knows? I might get me a new old car.
Yeah.
Either that, or you might have you an antique here before too long. Just keep that thing.
Have a good day.
We are almost out of time. So, Matt, how do we get a hold of you? What's your number?
You can give me a call at 352-690-1993. And remember, Sunrise is S-O-N.
Yes, remember that.
I got yelled at that the other day.
By whom?
By a customer.
Because why?
Because she was looking it up S-U-N.
Oh, no. S-O-N.
S-O-N.
S-O-N. It says a lot about you, who you are, and why you treat people the way you do. That's what I think. Gave me a car for 1,000 miles. Thank you, Matt. It's always good. We'll be right back.
Guys over at Sunrise Automotive will treat you right. We'll treat you right.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Fox News Radio, I'm Paul Stevens. French police raiding 168 locations, detaining nearly 24 people, all accused of being part of a sleeper cell.